Welcome back, everyone, to our second episode of Press Pause here. Last week, we were checking out some Easter treats, and then this week, as mentioned in our last video, we're going to be checking out a collection of Canadian snacks here. So these are originally invented Canadian snacks. They might not be produced or even owned by Canadians nowadays, but historically at least, they do bear the label of being Canadian products. With that being said, we have a healthy selection of everything from chips to some just mild edibles to a very wide selection of chocolate, and we're going to be diving into them. For today, given the variety that we have access to, I'm going to be leaning towards the back row here, towards the chips, and we'll save the chocolate testing for next weekend.
Sometimes the game is really intense, and you need something to keep you going. What's better than hitting pause? Come check out some gamer fuel and fun to help take the edge off.
All right, and hello everyone. It's Gamer Carter here. As stated just in the intro video there, we're going to be checking out some Canadian snacks here today, and we're going to start off with some chip options. As far as it goes, the review, as I'll call it here, is going to go through a kind of systematic process. It's going to have a couple of different criterias on which we're going to be rating these various snacks here. The first of which is going to be just the overall taste of it. Like, is it actually a tasty snack, something you want to put in your mouth, or is it something you put in your mouth and then you immediately want to get out of your mouth? The second one is going to be how clean it is, how easy it is to actually eat. So like the ease of consumption itself. For example, if it's chocolate, does it have a food delivery system that keeps it off of your fingers or allowing you to get your hands back on that controller or onto that keyboard without making a mess of absolutely everything? Then we got the next criteria is how filling is it? I mean, it's a snack. It's meant to tide you over. It's not meant to be a meal, so it shouldn't be too filling, but it still needs to be better than just like you're eating air. You're just going to keep consuming this thing because it's not actually making any headway whatsoever to your stomach, right? Then we have the fourth one, which is going to come down to the price. Is it actually a cost-effective snack? So, given its taste, given its satiety level of itself, whether or not it's actually worth what it costs to purchase the snack to then consume said snack. Because not all gamers are just flush with cash. I mean, we sometimes have to go out for budget snacks or similar, right? Just whatever works in order to keep your game on without having to actually hit pause and stop what you're doing until you're actually ready to stop. So, without saying anything further on it there, we're just going to dive right into the very first snack. All right, so the very first snack here is going to be what is referred to as Hickory Sticks. So this is a product by Hostess, which is an American company. However, these started off as a Canadian product before they got bought out by Hostess. However, they are, as featured on the package, still produced and made in Canada. Makes it easier for their price not to be increased as a result of the ongoing trade war that is happening here in North America. The whole concept behind this one here is it's a alternative to a potato chip because it's a potato stick. Whether or not that's a better delivery system, I don't know. I mean, sticks like French fries are smaller, so you can get more of them in your mouth as opposed to chips where generally you have to pick them one at a time. So I mean, whether or not you're trying to like stuff your face with a ton of food all at once is, I guess, up to you. But yeah, we're gonna dive into this one here. This is the original flavor, so this is hickory flavor. Not really sure what hickory flavor is. I'm attributing it closer to like a barbecue sauce, just because hickory is wood, and I mean most barbecues do wood smokes, and I have heard of like a hickory smoked like brisket before. So, yeah, we're gonna dive into this one as again on the other side of the packaging here. So hickory sticks for a bag of this size, it's only $2.50 Canadian, which I mean that's not a bad price for chips. Most of the time, like the full normal size bags, if you want to call them those, they're like $9 right now. So to get like a good quarter of that for only 250, it's not bad if you only want a snack size. Ooh. Makes some horrible sounds with that crinkling tinfoil though. But oh yeah, it's got a very good smell to it. It's kind of like if you've ever opened up something that was like bacon candy, it's kind of reminiscent of that kind of smell. So that's where I'm getting closer to the barbecue flavor again, just because I mean, I don't know, everyone has a different way of taking bacon, but I've done like actual smoked bacon, like hickory smoked bacon, and it's very close to this. I mean, obviously this doesn't smell like bacon, but it smells like the smell that's on bacon. But yeah, as far as it goes, the sticks, I don't know if you can see it here. I'll try and make it so you can actually picture that out. But it is a very thin, almost like hair strand sized fry, effectively. Um, when it comes to hickory sticks, they are from the 1970s, defined as a matchstick fry and 100% Canadian. All right, so that is going to be enough about that. We're just going to dive right in and get a good taste of these. So first off, it's not exactly the easiest snack to actually eat. I mean, it comes in a bag, so that's just like hand on a mouse on this side, hand in the bag. But when you're reaching in, if you're only trying to get the amount of like sticks that you can fit in your mouth, not easy to do just like a finger pinch in order to get them in your mouth. You could go for like a double dip of like, oh, one here, one there, but the more time your hands off that keyboard or off that controller, you're not actually playing the game. So kind of loses marks for that. It's not as easy as it should be in order to actually eat this. But that taste, it is a very satisfying taste for like a potato chip. It's like one of the better barbecue style chips. And I mean, this is original. They come in other flavors. They got a salt and vinegar one. They got a sour cream and cheddar one. I mean, pretty much any flavor of chip you could do to this. I mean, it is just a chip that's just been a little bit further processed and turned into strips rather than just left as a chip, right? Um, no, so I got a little bit more in that pull there. You get a lot more of the flavor. As far as it goes, I would give it like on a scale of like our 1 to 5 scale there, taste wise, it is a 4 out of 5. It is a really good tasting chip. It tastes fresh. It doesn't make me want to spit it out. It's got a healthy amount of that flavoring, like the flavor dust on it, but not to the point of just like overpowering. Because there are some chips that are like that where it just has so much on it. You're just like, oh, somebody give me a glass of water. I gotta like rinse my mouth out. When it comes to the cost, I mean, yeah, we said it before, but yeah, it's only $2 for a whole bag. And I mean, looking at how much is actually packed in here, that's like eating 3, 4 whole size, like large potatoes. That's a lot of potato for a snack, right? And I mean, you could split that into 2, 3 different sessions if you're like rationing kind of thing, right? And then that leads us into kind of our final criteria for it, which is cleanup. Like, could I eat what's in my hand right now and then immediately put my hand back onto the keyboard? Answer to that, no, not without wiping my hand off first. Main reason is it is a potato chip, which does mean it does have oil on it. So I've got some oily fingers right here. And then on top of that, being another potato chip, it left its dust behind on my fingers. So, I mean, if you're okay with just doing a finger licking good moment, you could throw your hands back onto your controller. But I mean, at the end of the game, you're going to wind up sanitizing that thing. So, I mean, it scores high marks overall. I mean, if I was going to give it collective mark, it's a 4 out of 5. Would buy again, but a little bit not recommended if you're choosing it for a gaming snack, specifically because, I mean, you're going to have some kind of like a cleanup rag or like a wet towel or something to wipe your hands off. Otherwise, you're just going to cause crumbs and everything else to go into your controller, onto your keyboard. But they're dangerous. You got to take them away because I will continue to eat that bag and we will not carry on with the video otherwise. All right, so the crew have saved me from myself by taking away the hickory sticks that I'm still eyeing from across the room. I mean, those are so good for like a Canadian snack. Why did we ever sell this to the Americans? Am I right? But um, we gotta give it up. We gotta move on. We gotta find the next one. So the next option here we're gonna move on to. We're gonna go for a true chip, and that is gonna be the Lay's company potato chip, and specifically the ketchup flavored potato chip. Now, this is a very class dividing chip in that most people who hear of a ketchup chip, who have never eaten a ketchup chip before, usually recoil in horror, going, ketchup on a potato chip? Are you serious? And I mean, as someone who had their first ketchup potato chip when I was probably like 4 or 5, I've grown up with them. So to me, it's a normal chip. And I mean, when you think of a French fry, you put ketchup on it. This is a potato. Why can't you put ketchup on it, right? I mean, that would be the argument. But so many people are against it just because they hear of it. And I mean, I don't know. It's a very Canadian thing. It was a concept that was first invented here in Canada. Um, has since moved down to the States a little bit, but with stiff resistance, you don't see ketchup chips being consumed in the US very often. Not to say that it doesn't happen, but it is a rarity. These ones again, they are, as branded on the bag, made in Canada. The company itself, I believe, it has been bought out once more with the ownership moving south of the border. Um, but yeah, with it coming down to this, I mean, bag of this size, granted, as you can see when we fold the bag, a fresh bag, mind it, more than half the bag is nothing but air. But that still leaves us with half a bag of chips. So, cost wise for this one, you get 135-gram bag, which is the standard size. It's the new size, as again said on the packaging itself. But cost wise, it's a little bit more expensive than hickory sticks. Oh, it smells like ketchup. Like good ketchup, not like, oh, this is ketchup that sat on a restaurant table for way too many years.
Fun fact about ketchup chips, they were actually invented again by the Hostess company, same one that makes the hickory sticks. They were the first ones to do ketchup flavored potato chips. So, innovation.
But yeah, when you're looking at a bag like this, I mean, you can just walk into a superstore, walk into a convenience store, cost you about $4.50, maybe $5, depending on where you're going. So twice as expensive as the hickory, but I mean, they've got more prominent branding. I mean, Hostess over the years has kind of acquired a branding of cheap food, right? I mean, Twinkies aren't like a $10 a twink food, right? So, I mean, you can't really slap on a $5 price tag to a bag of Hostess hickory sticks. But yeah, that's price. I mean, as far as prices go, it's a little bit more expensive. I can't give it like a top mark or anything like that for it because it's not free. So we'll give it a 3 out of 5 as far as the price is concerned, and then we'll move right on to the taste. So as witnessed here, so it is a full potato chip. Kind of has a purple-ish color, which I mean, a lot of people might fault it because it's purpley, but I mean, if you look it up, the original ketchup was kind of a purpley gray. So they might be kind of harking back to that. Plus, who wants a really suspiciously red chip? Because that's just going to make people run for the hills thinking you've just coated it in chili dust and it's going to be the flaming hot fire chip, right? I mean, those chips are good, but man, some of them get hot. But yeah, without saying anything further, we're just going to dive right into how it tastes. Mm. I mean, because there's all different kinds of ketchup. This is a very like vinegary ketchup. There's less of a tomato taste to it, but I mean, it's got that sharpness to it that kind of cuts through the oil of the chip itself a little bit, which is pretty good. I mean, there's evidence from here. Like I just put one in my mouth and I reached right back into the bag for another one. They are good. But if I was choosing flavors between this And the sticks, I mean, I would still go for the sticks. I am more of a barbecue than a ketchup fan. I mean, take the two things together, put them onto a burger. I mean, do you even need condiments, right? You got barbecue sauce, you got ketchup. Mm. And being a potato chip, it is fairly filling, just being potato based, but you would have to clear probably like half of this bag before you'd actually feel like full. As a snack, if you only wanted like going and grab a couple of them, just tide you over for even say like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, this would be a great snack and you'd be able to go into it 4 or 5 times if you were rationing it out in order to make it kind of last through, say, like a weekend gaming session or something like that. So it gets pretty good marks for that. I mean, pretty much anything potato is going to do that. Health wise, maybe not as high, but that's just because it's not really trying to be healthy now, is it? The losing mark on it, if I can again call it that, is going to be again being a chip. I got greasy fingers and I got ketchup chip dust on it as well. So loses marks there. I'll give it only like a 3, but overall, I mean, not as good as the hickory sticks. It's a little bit more expensive. Doesn't taste quite as good. So I mean, where the hickory sticks had a 4, I'm gonna say ketchup chip. Nah, I'll say a 3, maybe 3.5 overall there. But not something that I would say don't go out and buy. I mean, if you haven't ever tried ketchup chips before, find somewhere that sells them. Go and buy just like a snack pack. They're like snack packs are like a buck. Try them out. They're actually pretty good. Unless you hate ketchup itself, then don't try it out, obviously. All right, and we're moving on to our third item here. So this is kind of iconic Canadian snack food. If you're again from the United States, you might know these, which are cheesies, as Cheetos. In terms of comparison, they're not the same thing. They're very similar, but they are not the same thing. So a Cheeto would be a like cheesy puff. These are not puffs. These are like a stick. And if you ask me, I prefer these over Cheetos, specifically because they come with real Canadian cheddar. This is still a cheese dust, but it is a dried cheddar that is then powderized and coated, absolutely coated in these. So it is, I haven't even opened it yet. It is going to be worse than eating a Dorito as far as causing a mess on your hands that you're going to have to clean off. And it's not even one of those like, oh yeah, just like quick lick of your fingers. No, no, no. It's the get a rag and go to town washing your hands off kind of thing. In terms of price, I mean, bag of Cheeto or Cheeties here is going to cost you actually just a little bit less than what it would cost you for a bag of Lay's there. Lay's cost you around like $4.55 for a bag. These are $3, so slightly more expensive than the hickory sticks, but you wind up with, I mean, as evidence from the bag, it's 285 grams. That is almost double the weight volume of the hickory sticks, and you only pay like 50 cents more for it. That's not actually that bad. Um, Again, so this is a Canadian product, and last time I checked, it is still owned by a Canadian company known as Hawkins. Um, I don't know if these get shipped anywhere else in the world, but I mean, these are like standard Canadian fair food or like carnival food. Like just walking around outside, these are going to be just a not so much like a car journey snack, but just if you're out in the sun and you need like strong flavor or just something to tide you over, a lot of people will go running for these. Oh, let's get that cheesy smell in our face here. Yeah, that's like unbagging like a brick of cheese and just shoving your face right into it. I mean, look at that. It is so orange. It is 360 degrees coated in cheese dust to the point that even just tilting it, some of the cheese dust dripped like floated down onto the table there.
This is probably going to be the oldest of all of our offerings here today, and that's just because this one started back in 1949 for its date of creation, being just a simple cornmeal, vegetable oil, and real aged cheddar cheese.
So yeah, as you can see, it's not a puff. It looks like a stick, and it is a very dense stick. So when you bite into it, there is a very like crunchy ASMR crunch. Like we're gonna see if we can capture it here with me doing a not so polite chew, but just so you can hear that crunch. I mean, you hear that? It is so crunchy. And then when you look at the inside, I mean, there's no air pockets. It is like a solid puff. Well, not even a puff. I can't even call it a puff. Why do I call it a puff? And then this is actually pretty healthy as well. It's not potato. It is corn. So this is a chip made of cornmeal. So it's ground up corn that is then formed into the chip and then just coated in cheese. And I mean, if you ever been out to like a Mexican restaurant, they give you like cheesy corn, or sometimes it's called street corn. Oh man, that stuff is so good. And this is kind of like the early 1900s version, Canadian version of street corn. It is the bag of cheese wrapped around a corn stick. Mm. And unlike when you're eating Cheetos, I don't have the feeling like this is like really heavily processed cheese. It tastes like I just put a cheese slice in my mouth and let it just melt as that dust mixes with the saliva in my mouth and just turns into like a river of cheese that I want to swallow. Mm. Oh, those are even more deadly than anything else. I mean, as far as flavor, cheesy's all the way. It is just pure cheese flavor. You can't not like cheese. Well, unless you're like lactose intolerant or something, but it's so good. Again, as mentioned before, I mean the cheese dust situation. There is cheese dust all over the table, and I don't know if you can see from my fingers there, but it's like I got two very orange fingers, and I only went in with those two fingers. So if you went in for like a whole handful of them, you'd walk away looking like you were Garfield. Your hand would just be orange, right? Worse cleanup wise than a Dorito, but taste wise, fantastic. Being corn, it's another one of those high filling foods. I mean, I only had like four of them, and I could easily tell that I ate something. So, am I going to clear the bag in one sitting? Probably not. Not unless I'm doing like a 12-hour gaming session. But would I go back for them? I mean, if it's $3 a bag, you bet I will. I mean, corn's not that expensive of a product, and if you're just gonna wrap it in like powdered real cheese, I will spend more than $3 on a bag of this. Thank you very much. Mmm, so good, so very good. If no one watching this has tried them before, even if you're in the States, just cross the border for like an hour trip, stop into like a duty free station. They will most likely have cheeses. You need to pick up a bag of this. They are so good. Oh, but yeah, so that's three items down. I'm gonna hand these over to the crew behind the camera there in order to move on, because otherwise I'm just gonna dive into that bag again. Mm. And then yeah, the next one up is going to be our last chip option here, the all dressed chips. Again, this is a Canadian innovation, probably born out of some form of insanity, but it's actually really good. So the whole point behind the all dressed chip is to take every other chip flavor, add it to one chip. Basically, it's like if you go into 7-Eleven and you just mix all the different pop flavors together and make swamp water. This is effectively a swamp water chip. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's every single chip flavor, because I mean, you walk into a supermarket aisle and you're gonna have probably like 20, 30 different kinds of chips. I'm talking about the original flavors of chips. So this is gonna be salt and vinegar, barbecue, ketchup, sour cream, and onion. Those are going to be the flavors, and you can find that out just by looking at the back of the bag here. And it actually has a picture of all of the items that are actually in there. Also featured, as I've just found out, from the front of the bag as well there. This is another American brand, but produced and made here in Canada. So this is Ruffles in comparison to Lay's that we tried before there. So this is a ripple chip. So it's got ridges to the chip as opposed to Lay's, which is a smooth chip there. Ripples are generally better for dipping, but when it comes to an all dressed, generally I wouldn't recommend dipping them because they already have a lot of flavor to begin with. In terms of price, it's the exact same price as buying a bag of Lay's. So I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 because it's not like, oh my God, I just spent untold amounts of wealth on a bag of chips, right? It's a snack. It's priced for snack food, so it's properly priced.
And it's listed as being a tangy, sweet, and savory taste profile that was initially invented in Quebec, the French province of Canada.
Oh, it's always an interesting smell. I mean, it's kind of like I don't even, my brain doesn't even know what to say that smell smells like. It's just if you opened a ton of chips for like a company function or a birthday party or something and you put them out on all the plates for people to be able to pick from, it's like when you get that combination in the air, it smells like that, but even more concentrated because it's all trapped in one bag. Um, Color wise, the chips come out looking very much like a barbecue chip. I mean, they're kind of brown. But you can see little flecks of salt crystals on there, and I can smell a decent amount of vinegar on them as well. So it is very clearly a combination mix when it comes to that. I will give credit to Ruffles. They do clearly have bigger size chips. I mean, every chip that I grabbed out of the Lay's bag was half the size of this chip. And considering that they have also ridged this, that is pretty good. This is a good size, like scooping chip. And looking inside the bag, every single one that I can see in here, maybe not the ones at the bottom, but they're all this size. That is amazing. That makes it so much easier for you to be like, okay, yeah, off to the side, gaming, grab a big chip. I'd call it a 2 bite chip, but once you bite into it, you just shove the other half in your mouth. You're going to be busy for the next 30 seconds to a minute chewing that thing. But enough of me talking. Let's figure out how it tastes. Mmm. This is another one that's up there with the standard ketchup chip that divides because it is such a mixture of flavors. Like if you like bitter things or bland things, you will not like this. I mean, it's so many flavors. You're just like your tongue is tingling from all the different flavors coming together. And I like it. I like swamp water drink. I like these chips, all dressed chips. They are amazing. But again, if you don't like bland things or you think that the peak of spice is salt, maybe don't go for these. Just stick to salt and vinegar on their own. Mm. But yeah, as a brand, flavor wise, I'd say that the Ruffles beat out the flavor of the Lay's because even with 4 different flavors happening on this chip, I can pull it apart. I can feel the distinct bites taste like salt and vinegar. I can taste the sour cream and onion. I can taste ketchup, and it's better tasting ketchup, honestly, if you ask me, than the very vinegary Lay's ketchup that's there. And then even the barbecue sauce, it's a subtle barbecue sauce, making me feel like I might have put some hickory sticks in my mouth when I was eating this chip. It is that same kind of hickory barbecue that's going on there. So it is really good. And the advantage, I'll give it that. Looking at my fingers after eating, I don't know, 3, 4 chips there, I have a little bit of dust, like enough that I could just go like that, and I don't see any dust. I feel a little bit of oil, so I can't give it like a full 5 out of 5 for that, but I'd say 4.5, maybe 4, because I mean, depends on how conscientious you are about cleanliness. I mean, you could just do and hand back on the controller. I mean, there's no oil left on my fingers after just doing a quick wipe to the shirt, right? I mean, it's gonna go in the laundry anyway. So yeah, overall on our all dressed chips, the inspired Canadian insanity that it is, um, it's not the overall winner, but I do give it a pretty good mark. I will say that these are going to land itself at about a 4. on our 4 to 5 scale there, the overall winner of today's offerings, I mean, it's got to be said, it is still, guys, give it back. It is still the cheesies. Like, I wanted to say that it was the hickory sticks. I mean, don't get me wrong, the hickory sticks, the cheesies, the all dressed, they're all amazing, but those are top 3. No contest. It's cheesies. When you get the taste of real cheese on something that's cheap as a snack food, I don't even care about the cleanup. I'm fine with doing excessive cleanup. Even in terms of like overall points, technically this one would be less, but I would give it over a 5 in terms of taste just because it is real cheese. Everything gets knocked down the scale as a result of that, giving this one the overall crown for best chip style snack, at least from Canada in my mind there. I mean, yeah, just no, you guys can't have them back. They are mine. They're going home with me. I'm gonna eat them in the car. I'm gonna play them when I'm gaming over the weekend here. I'm gonna polish off the bag all on my own. Oh, but yeah, those are so good. But yeah, I thank you all for coming in and pressing pause with us here. As intro videoed, we're going to be picking up next weekend, next Saturday, with our other selection of Canadian offerings here. And other than chips, we do have a lot of chocolate options. I think there was, I want to ballpark it. I don't know the exact number. I mean, they got taken away pretty much as soon as we did the intro video because everyone feared that they were going to be eaten. So they basically got locked up in a food safe so that we wouldn't touch them. But yeah, I want to say we probably have like 12 offerings there, so we might have to do like a part 1 and part 2 of the Canadian chocolate series there. But yeah, if you like today's video here, drop us a like, hit that subscribe button if you want to see the upcoming episodes as they get released there. And if you have any recommendations for any like Canadian chips that are inspired Canadian made in Canada there, hit us up in the comments. Let us know if there was anything that we missed here. I tried to find a good variety, but I mean, I obviously did not go to every single store looking for them. So there is probably something that has been missed. Once we finish with our first rounds of Canadian snacks, we will be moving on to the Americas. So we will be checking out like the United States, and if we can find some sources for it, we're gonna also go to the last North American country, Mexico, and see if we can drum up some of their snacks as well mixed in there. And then yeah, like I said in the first ever episode of our Gamer and Grub channel here. We are striving towards increasing the subscribership in order to reach a point where we'll open up a P.O. box, let you guys from the world actually send in some stuff, and we'll throw it all on the table and we'll rate it. We'll taste it. We'll find out who has the best snack in the world. So, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.